We know that from the point of view of the little creatures living on the ground, that spraying chemicals is an incredibly horrible and disrespectful thing to be doing. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Today, we are addressing the question that was given to us of whether or not we just eat purely organic produce, organic fruit.
Yes. So, if
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
start.
Okay. The first thing I want to say is that obviously that we have no doubt about it that if you can source your food without chemicals on it, without artificial fertilizer used in the ground, without whatever else it is that they may be spraying on crops or on fruit, obviously that's the best thing that you can do if you can genuinely get that kind of clean produce. The trouble is that you're never, ever going to be guaranteed that you've got that kind of clean produce unless it's grown by yourself on your own land. Because otherwise, you're never really going to know what's happened to fruit before it reaches you, especially if it's being shipped in from somewhere. And even if it's got an organic label on it, that doesn't really mean as much as people think it does. People think that the organic label means that the food is grown without any chemicals, without any artificial fertilizer in the ground. But the truth is that the organic label is not just one thing that means one thing. Organic labels are given out by organic certification bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And those organic certification bodies are many. It's not just one of them, there's many, many. So there are hundreds of them around the world, probably thousands, because every country's got their own organic certification companies that deal with it. Not just one, but many. We're not talking about one set of rules that suits everybody. Organic actually means different things to different companies. Some are much more lax than others. Some of them permit you to use certain agrochemicals and others are more strict. But when you're buying something as a consumer, you don't know that. All you know is you're buying something that's been labeled as organic. So you're not going to be guaranteed it's really chemical-free, which we know from experience.
That's right. Because this is complex topic, really. The whole earth is just one body. And people think if they go somewhere in the high mountains, there is no chemicals. But the air circulates all over the globe. So it's the water. It's all one body. And it's true, some places are more infested than others with the chemicals. But chemicals have been used since the Industrial Revolution. And after, I remember when I was a little kid, every material, doesn't matter what is it, for clothes or furniture or whatever it was all natural. There was no chemical synthetic materials as in a fabric. And I remember I was about 10-year-old, 11-year-old, when first synthetic fiber come in my world. And it was presented as something marvelous. The clothes doesn't crease. When you take them out of washing machine, they're almost dry. You put them on the line. In 2 minutes, 5 minutes, they're just dry. And all the conveniences you can think of. And it's sold very fast because most women, I don't have to iron, blah, blah, blah. Because true is, the nature fiber, if you wash it and you put it on a line, it takes much longer to dry than synthetic fiber. This synthetic fiber was full of chemicals. You wear it on your skin. And there was already in a war, the Hitler came up with it. He made stockings for women. He developed the makeup for the woman. He wants to please the woman because men was fighting, killing each other in the name of who knows what. And the women were producing weapons for them in the weapon factories. And Hitler knew he needs to keep people happy, his workers happy. So he gave women makeup, and the fashion went really big. And it was big revolution in look of the women altogether after war. And before war, every woman in my country where I was born used to have a long hair, wear the plaids. All women wear scarves. After war, all those women, they took the scarves off, got their hair down, put the makeup on, put the stockings on, high heel, and went in the name of emancipation work in an office. And this is how easily people get influenced by something which is full of lies, toxic, but they tell you how convenient, how good that is for you. And it went really fast. Suddenly, the plastic. I also remember there was just a soap, special soap for washing clothes and stuff. And suddenly there was washing powders. Those washing powders alone, they so pollute earth in last, whatever, almost 100 years. You think it's unnoticed? You think the Alps doesn't suffer from it? This is one body. You can't separate. If I eat poison, all my body gets poison. I can't say this arm is okay, that's fully healthy. It's not. So it's the planet Earth. Imagine, see the full picture. And the pouring chemicals for years in every country, especially developed countries and communists, they didn't care at all about pollution. They were paying big penalties for Austria and Germany and surrounding Western countries because they were so polluting them that they prefer pay the money and keep polluting. In a very polluted areas, people were getting extra money, and they called it funeral money because they live in such a polluted area. They get money as if to say, sorry, you have to live in this area. That's your compensation. So I personally don't think there's food free of chemicals in this world. It's impossible. Only what's possible is less toxic and more toxic food. Less toxic air, more toxic air, water, earth. Look at the earth. How big was the revolution of agriculture? The small farms were destroyed, big land came in, big fields everywhere suddenly, and chemicals. My father was born on a farm. They did everything organically. After war, he could see what's going on. Not only they took his farm, he didn't get nothing for it, just in the name of collective. They took his farm, they start working on it, they make huge fields, and they put chemicals in it. And I'm very aware because my father was suffering by it. He could see what they're doing with the land. He loved the land. Because once you start growing food or anything, you get more attached to the land. You get more understanding of the land. Anything you practice, you get deeper understanding of it. Not far from here, it's a big fruit farm. And we were visiting there. And I was sitting outside on the steps, and some people came. And the man left in a house. The lady come to me. We start chatting. We found out we come from the same country. So she just settled next to me, and we have a chat. And she told me why she's there. She's there with her partner to renew the organic certificate. And within 10 minutes, the man was back. The farm is huge. He could never even walk through it, or even if he walks through it, what he can see is he can see the chemicals. So he was back in 10 minutes, and I said to the lady, well, that was quick. And she said, it's all about money. This is only the bureaucracy, the paperwork, it's needed. But it's about money. You buy a lot of money for that certificate. So it's not controlled. Also, I was listening to a very interesting interview about water business. You know, water is business. How dare they make a business out of water? We were born here. This is given to us. And a lot of people, they don't get it. They think, this is now mine. And everything I can get from that land, I'm going to get. Maybe gold or coal or oil or whatever they're mining for. And so the whole earth for many years has been so polluted. There is microplastic now everywhere. Even if you go in the Alps and you take water from a stream, it will have microplastic in it. And that's the chemical which is really difficult to get of your body. I fully agree with Mango. You can't trust the labels. I learned as soon as I come to Australia, I bought juice which said pure orange juice. And I want to drink it. It didn't taste like much like even orange. And I could taste the chemicals. I could sense the chemicals. So when I found oranges in somebody's yard, nobody lived there. Oranges on the ground, we picked them, I juiced them. And I kept the plastic bottle from the juice. I wasn't thinking yet. And I make a juice from garden oranges, put them in that plastic bottle. And the next day, I could smell the chemicals from the bottle in that juice. And since then, I never put any food in plastic. And I learned that juice could not be fresh. Also, then it got me that it couldn't be fresh because actually it's in supermarket. It's not even in a fridge on a normal shelf. So all those things, through all those years, made me believe there is not such a thing really as pure, clean food. Doesn't matter what it is. Some people pointing fruit is full of pesticides. All food is full of pesticides. All food, the air have a lot of bad chemicals, the water, everything. Even here, there was tobacco farms in this area a lot. They use a lot of bad chemicals for getting bigger and bigger crop. And then when the land stopped cropping properly, they just closed the tobacco farm and start selling that poisoned land. People around here, people buy it, start producing food, selling it as organic. You will have to know the history of that land. You will have laboratory at home to actually understand what's in there. That's true is all fruit we eat from here because we don't use any chemicals, including cosmetics, nothing. Our fruit is definitely a taste out of this world. That indicates me it's a good quality fruit because good quality fruit is more clean than full of chemicals. It's more tasty and it's more healthy.
I'm aware that buying an organic certificate is an expensive thing to do. So the only people that can really afford to do that are people that are growing crops on a larger scale. You won't get small scale farmers buying a organic certificate purely because they just can't afford to do so. If they're just growing a few things to sell locally, then there's absolutely no way that they're going to be able to afford to buy an organic certificate. So those governing bodies actually push out all the people that genuinely have some idea of what's going on and how to grow things. If anybody's growing anything with permaculture techniques, they're unlikely to have an organic certificate because they can't afford it. So this means that there's a lot of food out there which probably would be more suited to people that want organic food, but it just doesn't have that label.
You always more save your small farmer than big farmer. The bigger company is,
the bigger the company,
the more it's involved in the money business. And where is the money business? It's usually not honesty.
And the same goes for the organic governing bodies. The bigger they are, the more corrupt they're going to be, and the more lax they're going to be because they're companies, and like every other company, their main aim is money. So they would rather accept money from somebody and give them an organic certificate than not do so because that's against their business policy. That's not doing the business any good. Having said all this, what I want to add is that we buy what we can in the best way we can. We buy from local markets. We buy from local farmers. A lot of them say they're spray-free, but they'll use chemical fertilizer. And frankly, if we were to go purely organic, we just wouldn't be able to find what we want to find. And we also know that the people who claim the organic label, their techniques of growing things are also not exactly what we would prefer either. Many of them will be using things like a lot of animal blood and bone and manure. And one particular farm that we know of here sprays their land with all this crushed fish paste that they've gotten from somewhere. So these are things that we don't agree with either. So it's very difficult to focus on getting organic food when we know that this is happening too. It's almost like it's a lose-lose situation. No matter what we're buying, we're compromising our morals in some ways. The only things that we know for certain are clean, the way that we want them, are the fruits that we grow ourselves. And even that, as Kritka has already said, this land or the surrounding lands once was used heavily for growing tobacco, which was one of the most sprayed crops ever, apart from cotton, which I think is probably the most number one sprayed crop in the world is cotton. So even our own land, we know it's not clean, which is why we get problems with things because it's not 100% clean, but at least it's the best that we can do. It's the best that we can source, the stuff that we grow ourselves. And we buy things from local growers. And we do buy things from supermarket too, which come from further afield that we frankly don't know the origin of. And we don't know exactly what chemicals we used in it. And we're never going to know. So do we only buy organic? No, the answer is no, we don't, because it's almost impossible to do that. We do the best we can in the situation that we're in. And the more that we can grow ourselves, the better that will be. But I'm sorry that we can't sit here and say we're 100% clean and only buy organic. Even organic isn't clean. That's really the answer that we have here today.
Yes. And this is the beauty of the fruit being raw fruitarian, because fruit is our natural food. Our body works properly. And therefore, the body can, with the food diet, eliminate those toxins which are in the fruit, living in the air and from the water, in swimming or showering.
We have water, gravity-fed water from a big dam, which is not that far from here. It's called Lake Tinaroo, and the canal is man-made and it feeds the farms and that around here, and we get the same water. So we're not getting town water, which is absolutely great for us because town water is heavily processed. It's got chlorine in it, probably fluoride. So we're very, very happy about that we've just got unprocessed water coming from the dam, and we're very happy swimming in it. And that's what we got in the dam too. And because of that, sometimes the water comes out brown. We can run a bath and it comes out looking like chocolate, which is always a sign that I've got to clean the filter, because I have to clean the filter every 6 weeks to keep the house water clean. We're not afraid of dirt, see? We're not afraid of dirt. We don't like chemicals. We know that chemicals aren't right. We know that from the point of view of the little creatures that live on the ground, that spraying the chemicals is an incredibly horrible thing to be doing and incredibly disrespectful to other earthlings. So we don't want to support that, but at times we've got no choice. In this world, we're forced to compromise our moral stance, and that's the sad state of things. And we just hope that things will get better and we can do better. But that's the way things are now. We hope that you, wherever you are, can source clean food as much as you possibly can. And just be aware that if something says it's organic, it's not always the case. We know there's a lot of unscrupulous people out there who will deliberately put sprayed food and market as organic because they can charge 4 times as much for it.
Yeah.
It's a very, very sad world we live in.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't trust people who are money hungry. And we know the nature of the money. More you have, more you want. When I came to Australia, I was sitting in one public place and I overheard 2 people talking. and they were talking Czech. So I understood every word. And this guy said, those people, they're so stupid. We own the health food store and we buy like rolled oats, the cheapest we can buy in the cheapest supermarket, and grinds and what have you. And we just rebag it and put on it organic. And they bought a bag of rolled oats for, say, 50 cents. There might be not even that in those days. And they will sell one bag of the organic oats for a big price. Then I went to have a look in the health food store when I come in here. Of course, I was curious. It says health, what they're selling there. All the plastic bottles with a lot of things in it. I didn't see nothing fresh, no fruit at all. And if they had a fruit, some health food store, they would just have a very few, very expensive, organic, and the prices were just so high, and they know they get away with it. So that's very easy to put on a label organic and make triple money or what have you.
They can easily sell it for 3 or 4 times the amount.
But true is, in one health food store, I lived in Sydney, I got really upset there. They have fruit, but the fruit looks so bad and so bad quality. And I told them, you're doing disgrace to the fruit. This is the healthiest food people should eat. This is only what people should eat. And you're presenting in a way that people look at it and they would not even think of it to buy. And the prices are so high, this is not fair. And it really upset me, and I told them what I think. They didn't even have nothing to say back because they couldn't. They had no answer for me.
Yeah. And one last thing I want to say really is that it's too a sign of our world that they have to have a governing body that can issue you with a label that says organic, so that supposedly organic food is labeled organic. This, to me, is absolutely crazy because it should be the other way around. It should be the other food, the conventional food, which gets labeled as sprayed with chemicals, and the organic food should just not have a label. And the people that are selling chemical sprayed food, they're the ones that should be buying the certificate to say their food is sprayed with chemicals. And without the certificate, then they can't buy chemicals and must grow organic.
Yeah, they have to tell you, be aware, this is poison. They put it on cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I don't know if they put it on alcohol now, but this is a very good point, yeah.
It should be the other way around. That shows we're living in a topsy-turvy world.
It's all money-oriented. In the end of the day, the government make about how we can do the business. As Mango says, certificates are expensive. So again, it's all for the people who already have a fat bank account to go forward to make more money. And that's just how it works. And we just, as Mango said, we learn to live in this world. The best way we know we can is doing less harm to ourselves and to our environment and others. So
I think we've answered the question, more than answered the question. So I think we're going to finish for today. So thank you all for listening, and see you next week.
yes, see you next time. We love you and thank you for the beautiful comments. And for new subscribers, we are really happy to see our little community is growing, getting bigger. So love that fruit, love yourself, love others, because the love is the best thing you can have in your life. Until next time.